On Wednesday, I drove all the way back to California to meet with Cicada. Now, these people, I believe, are the real Cicada because they gave me things and they told me things to do.
Okay. So let's be clear here. Okay, so the version of events is this. Defango and Andrew, well, I guess Defango decodes a puzzle and decides to bring his little friend Andrew with him all the way out to Barstow, California, which is a shithole by the by. They have decent caves, but it's a shithole. You go out to Barstow, you hike around for a couple days and don't find this spear. You in fact find that it is missing. You then drive all the way back to Arizona, drop off your buddy Andrew, and then you get a message to drive back to California where Cicada is located to pick up a recipe. Now, up to this point, we are understanding that this recipe is in fact a prize for your commitment. It's not, it's supposed to be like for you finding the, like trying to seek the spear and not necessarily finding it. Yet you say in your very own blog post, it was a gift for returning the Spear of Destiny and agreeing to speak to people. But here you're going to say that Cicada gave you the spear. Let's watch.
Now, when I received the letter on Thursday, when I was gone, I also received the spear and was told to hold on to it for a couple days, to meditate with it, to understand it, because there's a role to play in the very coming months. So it seems that, some people are all fucked up about this. I did not find the spear. Another searcher found the spear, goes by the name of Joe. Joe,
Joe, the old spear finder,
found the spear, but decided to go on a different leg of the pilgrimage than me. And it looks like the Cicada people wanted me to have the spear for a couple days.
Yeah, old Joe decided to go find the spear. Old Joe decides to go find the spear. And then decides, sorry, this whole spear game ain't for me.
Which is why they made me drive all the way back out to California so that I could go get it.
Well, but you got a recipe. And you then said that was thanks for pursuing the spear, but never actually getting it. You were more interested in the pursuit of knowledge.
So, yeah, that's basically what happened. So I've had it for the last couple of days, and I was asked to not show it or make any videos until it was out of my hands, because somebody would try to come take it, right?
I get it, Defango.
Or somebody would want to, or at least all these people would probably be looking up, the guys that are doxing me and, that have been harassing me. Yeah, they would probably trying to come over here and get it, now wouldn't they? So that's pretty much the timeline of events, and everything else you see me at home. I did their interview on, Thursday with the Fader Night, with the Fader Not Radio guys, and that was basically about it. And then looks like on Sunday, I had a location given to me of where I needed to take the spear, and I drove another, 8 hours back to California to go take it to that place.
So within the course of 5 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have driven to California and back. Let's see, there's the first time and back. There's the second time to pick up the recipe and then go back with the spear in tow, according to your now amended statement. And then a third time to drop the spear back off in California. Wouldn't it have been more efficient for you to meditate with the spear in California so that way you can just not have to drive that 2-cylinder go-kart of yours? Okay. Cool.
And now the spear's out of my hands. So, there's a lot of guys out there that are talking smack, trolling, trying to say that I'm a liar or I'm a deceiver or I fibbed. No, I didn't fucking find the spear. I drove back out. they asked me not to tell you guys about it because they wanted to give me time to make videos on it and kind of go over it.
Yeah, you know, Cicada 3301, an organization that is all about the idea that knowledge is free, asked you to keep something secret. There's a reason, Defango, why in the last episode that I played pretty fucking straight, that I went over the idea of cypherpunks. The idea of cypherpunks being that privacy is paramount. The idea that freedom of speech and freedom, like that the free exchange of ideas and information is paramount. You exhibit none of those things. You don't want free speech because you want to be able to say what you want, but no one else can. And you don't want free information because you hide everything because you are a liar. You are a fake. You're a fraud.
And work with it. I mean, there's no secrets here. There's no lies to be had. I mean, I don't understand why half of you guys, or some of you guys, are just like, trying to say that I'm a troll, or, this shit isn't real, because this shit is totally real. This shit is my real life. I just woke up this morning and went through all my comments and stuff, and I'm just like, maybe I need to do a timeline of events. So,
okay, you don't need to do a timeline of events. That's not an actual thing. No one expects you to cut open a lime and then carve in whatever events actually happened. They want a timeline of events. And the problem, Defango, is that your timeline doesn't match up. So this happens, and then, of course, he gets called out. He gets called out on Reddit, of all places. This should seal the deal regarding Defango and his credibility. So if you guys have yet to see Defango's latest video regarding the Lance of Longinus, you will see that he has it, and he claims that he has had it all along and just told us otherwise. Assuming he did have this holy spear, why didn't he just outright tell us? If he lied about the spear, how can we believe anything else he tells us? If he really had this spear, why is he still alive, and everyone related to him not cursed to oblivion yet by all the organizations that can easily take it from him? This puts I like how somebody can sit here and say, how is he not, dead because there's this giant conspiracy? This dude, Ocarina Goku, believes in the idea of this spear and believes in the idea that somebody who found it would be chased, but he doesn't buy the fact that he's not, chased yet. Okay. He then moves on to say, first off, I don't believe, or somebody says, first, I don't believe any of it. There's tons of discussion here. Look at this group of trolls. This is from Defango himself. Seems to be the same ones always talking crap. I didn't tell you because was told to not until it was out of my hands. It seems you regard aren't seeing the fact that people would have come to find me if I still had it. These posts are most likely being made by that troll from the Uncovering Cicada wiki. So this happens. Another Reddit post. Is this related to Cicada 3301, a now removed Defango post? Top post, top response. Related, yes. Relevant, no. It is worthless. Defango should be banned on here. The idiot has done more damage than good. See his video where he looks for the Spear of Destiny? Guy is a legit LARPer and schizo. Now, granted, he didn't spell schizo correct. He was not good with his grammar. I think that this is what rolled up into things like Shadowbox. Because now he can say, I worked and solved Cicada, right? He could say, I was a front-end web developer before I got fired for unknown reasons. Just to make sure I wasn't barking up the wrong tree, I went to a couple of sources. And one who responded was the one I was hoping would. You guys remember Nox Populi? We talked about him extensively last episode. We talked about how he solved the 2013 puzzle. Nox Populi, who has been featured on numerous articles. Nox Populi, who is currently trying to solve the Libra Primus, a a group of puzzles that has yet to be solved. Nox Populi, who has attended several DEF CONs, Nox Populi, who has been a speaker at several cyber events. I decided to reach out to him. And I asked the following. Or we can watch it, or we can look at it right now. Let me just zoom in here. I said, "Hey Nox, bit of a weird ask, but I'm doing some background on a guy named Defango / Manuel Chavez, who got into the whole fake cicada puzzle line of sevens exposed, then was apparently caught making up his own puzzles so he could solve them. Did you ever interact with him during your 2013 Solve / Liber Primus current work? And if so, what is your opinion on his abilities / contributions?" To which he responds, "Nah, he didn't even hear about the cicada puzzles until many years after that, and to my knowledge, even then never spent any time on the real ones. The closest is when the imitators referenced the Liber Primus and he looked at it a while, but even that was years after it was released. I've interacted with him since, of course, but mostly by proxy, because his fans tend to dislike me. I ran into him once at DEF CON where he talked about puzzles being written by aliens, so I got out of that conversation ASAP." Okay. Nox Populi, pretty big name in the cicada world. You don't need to believe me. Go search up the way that he solved the 2013 puzzle. Go look up one of his friends who solved the 2012 puzzle. But this guy who has cred, this guy who actually knows what the fuck he's talking about, had Defango approach him at a DEF CON and then start talking about, and I know which group of puzzles he's talking about, Tengi, because people think that Tengi is set by aliens. Defango believes not only in giants, he admitted that on a stream that he had with Jesse PS, he not only believes in the connection of Cicada 3301 with Q, but he also believes that aliens created a secret puzzle for people like him to figure out.
Now it's been 6 years. They spent 3 years pouring stuff onto the internet. And in all of that time, we still don't know who they are, which is interesting. All of these people who in our community have all tried to figure out who it is. All these investigative journalists for their respective newspapers have tried. From FOIA requests and things like that, we're reasonably convinced that the major intelligence agencies have taken a look, and somehow they're still entirely anonymous. They've, of course, had a few unintended side effects therein. One of the main ones is that by nobody knowing who they are for so long, there are a lot of people who would like to say that they are them. There's imitators coming out of the woodworks. In the intervening time since there were cicada puzzles, there is now more content online claiming to be cicada and making fake versions than there ever was combined from cicada. That being said, they still have set themselves up. Their PGP signature right at the start, their claim that they're going to sign everything they ever do, that still allowed them to maintain, no, this is our identity, though we're entirely anonymous. And I think that's the strength of the software that we've set up right now, is you can perfectly maintain your identity, maintain that your words are your own, while nobody knows who you are. And that's frankly a wonderful thing that that's even possible.